Nunca debimos atacar. La nave humana acabó con la flota enemiga. The Xorath fleet moved silently through the blackness of space. Thousands of ships, each shaped like a jagged stone, glided in formation around a bright star. The ships reflected a cold green light from their engines. Commander Varrock, a tall alien with ridged skin and glowing eyes, stood on the bridge of the lead ship. He watched the human star system on the holographic display. The humans had never attacked them before. There was no reason to fight, but fear and pride filled the council chambers. Commander Varrock, said a younger officer named Drek. His voice trembled with excitement. We must strike first. That ship, it is human. They are weak. Their technology is untested. We can destroy it before it grows dangerous. Varrock turned slowly. His eyes narrowed. Drek, you are too eager. Humans are small, yes, but do you understand what we face? We do not know what this ship can do. Drake's jaw tightened. We cannot wait. If we hesitate, they will grow stronger. It is better to attack now, when we hold the advantage. Varrock sighed. He looked at the star system again. Blue and green planets rotated slowly, calm and unaware of the danger above. He knew the council would listen to Drek. Fear had made the younger officers bold. Pride had made them certain they were right. Varrock was not sure. Very well, he said finally. We will send a drone first. Let us see what we face before the fleet engages. A small scouting ship detached from the fleet. It moved quickly toward the human ship. Varrock watched as the drone's sensors scanned. The humans had a ship unlike anything in the Xorath records. Its hull was smooth, rounded, and white with glowing blue lights. Its size was small compared to the Xorath battleships, but it carried a strange calmness. On the human ship, Captain Lucas Hill stood on the bridge. He was a man in his mid-30s, with short brown hair and sharp eyes. He noticed the drone approaching on the view screen. Contact, Lucas said. Small scout. Unknown. Prepare scanners. Lieutenant Nora Blake, his second in command, tapped the console quickly. Captain, sensors are online. I am reading energy signatures. They are unlike any standard human technology. This drone, it is trying to map us. But it is not very advanced. It should be easy to counter. Lucas nodded. Keep an eye on it. Do not fire yet. I want to see what they are capable of first. The drone sent pulses toward the human ship. They struck the shields, which shimmered like liquid glass. The ship did not even flinch. Lucas smiled slightly. Humans had built these shields for endurance. They could take more than a few strikes from alien scouts. On the Xorath fleet, the council grew impatient. The humans are hiding something, said another officer. Tovar, we cannot wait any longer. We must attack before they strengthen. Varrock felt the weight of responsibility on his shoulders. He knew this was a dangerous decision. Humans were small, but they were unpredictable. He had read reports of their ingenuity and courage. He knew they had faced worse threats in their own history and survived. Still, the younger officers' voices were loud and demanding. Very well, Varrock said quietly. Prepare the fleet for engagement, but we will proceed carefully. Do not underestimate them. Drek's eyes shone with excitement. Underestimate? Commander, we will crush them. Their technology cannot match our numbers. Varrock looked at him, silently warning that pride often led to failure. But Drek could not see the caution. Meanwhile, on the human ship, Lucas and his crew prepared for the worst. Nora, he said, we might have company. Keep all systems ready. I want shields at maximum and weapons primed. But remember, we fight smart, not just hard. Yes, Captain, Nora replied. Her fingers danced over the controls. Every system hummed in readiness. Lucas watched the stars outside, calm and steady. Humans had survived because they adapted quickly. They found solutions where others saw only danger. He trusted his crew completely. Back in the Xorath fleet, the first attack began. Bright beams of green energy cut through space, heading straight for the human ship. The aliens believed the humans would panic. They believed the shields would fail. but the human ship moved with surprising speed. It twisted and turned, dodging the beams in ways the Zorath did not anticipate.
"Shields holding," Nora reported.
"Their energy is strong, but we can withstand it. I suggest we deploy decoy drones to confuse them." Lucas nodded. "Do it. Let them waste their shots." Small white drones shot out from the ship. They mirrored the ship's energy signature. The Zorath fleet targeted them instead of the real ship. Beams of energy struck the decoys, which exploded harmlessly in space. The real human ship glided unharmed. Commander Varrock watched in shock. His plan had been simple: destroy the humans quickly. But they were not simple. They were clever. They used strategy and trickery. For the first time, he felt real fear. Not fear of death, but fear of failure. The council whispered urgently. "This is not expected," said Tovar. "They are advanced. We underestimated them." Drek frowned. "Impossible." "They are small. There is no way they can survive our attack." Varrock turned to him. "The way they survive is by thinking, Drek. You fight with pride and force. They fight with intelligence. Do not forget that." In the human ship, Lucas observed the Zorath ships as they fired. "Their formations are predictable," he said. "Nora, calculate the weak points. We will not just defend. We will prepare to strike back if needed."
"Yes, Captain," she replied. She tapped rapidly on her console.
Lines of calculations appeared on the screen. "If we maneuver this way, we can avoid most of their attacks and potentially disable their lead ships. We need only a precise strike." The Zorath fleet continued to fire. Their beams cut through the empty space around them, missing the human ship repeatedly. The aliens began to grow frustrated. Their confidence faltered as their numbers failed to ensure victory. Varrock made a decision. "Recall the scout drone. Prepare for a larger engagement. We will surround them and overwhelm their defenses." Drek nodded eagerly. "Finally, Commander, they cannot survive against all of us." But Varrock was already worried. The humans had survived the first assault without serious damage. Their movements were intelligent, not instinctive. Every time the Zorath fired, the humans adapted. Lucas stood silently, watching the alien ships. "They are strong," he said softly, "but they are predictable. We need patience and precision. We fight smart, and we will survive." In the council chamber aboard the lead Zorath ship, Varrock argued one last time. "We do not know what this human ship can do. Our fleet is large, but if we make one mistake, it could be costly." The younger officers were impatient. "We will not wait any longer." "Strike now, Commander!" Varrock knew that the next few moments would define the battle. He had a sinking feeling that the humans were more than they seemed. They were small, fragile, but intelligent and resourceful. The fleet might soon regret attacking first. And in the dark void of space, the human ship glided silently, calm and ready. Captain Lucas Hill and his crew waited for the inevitable. They knew the aliens underestimated them, and that would be their greatest advantage. The first attack had failed, but the war was only beginning. The stars seemed to watch silently as both sides prepared for the battle that would decide the fate of the system. One side had numbers and weapons. The other had strategy, courage, and intelligence. Varrock could sense the tension in his fleet. The council whispered. Even the most confident officers felt unease. He alone knew that attacking humans was never simple. In the human ship, Lucas Hill looked at the crew. "Remember," he said, "they may be larger and stronger, but we have something they do not. We have our minds. We have each other, and that will be enough." The drone exploded in a distant star field, signaling the failure of the first Zorath attack. Varrock clenched his hands. "This will not end well if we continue like this," he muttered to himself. The stars of the system shone brightly, unaware of the small human ship that glided silently among them, ready to face an enemy far greater than anyone had imagined. And thus began a war neither side could fully understand, a war that would test courage, intelligence, and survival itself. The Zorath fleet moved closer to the human ship. Thousands of jagged green ships filled the space around it. glowing faintly under the light of distant stars. Commander Varrock stood on the bridge of the lead ship. He felt uneasy. The humans had survived the first attack easily. Their shields were strong, their movements precise.
"Commander," Drek said, his voice full of anger, "we must act now."
"They will not last long under our full assault." Varrock shook his head. "Drek, calm yourself. We cannot rush. The humans are unpredictable. One wrong move and we could lose many ships. Watch carefully before you strike." But Drek did not listen. He activated the fleet's weapons prematurely. Bright green energy beams shot from the alien ships, cutting through space toward the human vessel. The humans were ready. Captain Lucas Hill stood calmly on the bridge of the human ship.
"They are moving faster than expected," he said to Lieutenant Nora Blake.
"Nora, I want all systems on high alert. Shields, weapons, and engines. Prepare for evasive maneuvers."
"Yes, Captain," Nora said. Her fingers moved quickly over the controls.
She tapped commands into the system, activating defensive patterns. Small drones were released from the ship, moving in unpredictable paths. The drones created false targets for the Zorath energy beams. Many of the beams hit the drones and exploded harmlessly. Lucas watched the alien ships carefully. "Their formation is predictable," he said.
"They think numbers are enough. They are wrong."
The Zorath ships fired again and again, but the human ship twisted and turned. Its movements were fast and clever, avoiding the majority of attacks. The aliens began to feel frustration. Every shot wasted lowered their confidence. Commander Varrock looked at the battle and felt his fear grow. "Drek, control your fleet," he shouted. "Do not fire blindly. Focus your attacks." Drek ignored him.
"They will fall. They are only one ship," he yelled.
"Numbers do not guarantee victory," Varrock muttered. "I hope we are not too late." On the human ship, Lucas smiled faintly. He trusted his crew completely. Nora Blake's calculations were perfect. Every move of the ship was measured. They had prepared for an attack like this. Even though they were outnumbered, the humans had advantage through intelligence and strategy.
"Shields holding at 80%,
Nora reported. "If we continue these maneuvers, we can survive another wave of attacks." "Good," Lucas said. "Keep it steady. Do not let them predict us. Every time they fire, we learn something. Every time we move, we test them." The Zorath fleet fired in unison, energy beams cutting the darkness. The human ship seemed small and fragile compared to the massive alien ships, but it moved with grace and speed, dodging each attack. It released small explosions that confused the enemy sensors.
Commander Varrock's eyes widened.
He had expected to overwhelm the humans, but now he realized something important. "They are learning," he said softly. "They are not panicking. They are studying us, adapting."
"Yes, Commander," said Tovar.
"They are intelligent, too intelligent to underestimate." Drake's face turned red with anger.
"Impossible. They are weak."
"They cannot survive against all of us." Varrock shook his head. "Drek, that is why we always prepare. Intelligence wins where numbers fail. Watch and learn, young one."
Inside the human ship, Lucas gave precise orders. "Nora, set up the countermeasures. Use the decoy drones to guide their fire away from the main engines. I want them exhausted before we make any move." "Yes, Captain," Nora said.
Her fingers danced over the controls, sending commands to the ship's automated systems. The Zorath ships were frustrated. They had thought one wave of attacks would destroy the human ship. They could not believe that one small vessel was surviving against thousands. Commander Varrock felt a cold weight in his chest. He had fought many battles before, but this was different. The humans were not like other species. They were clever, resourceful, and fearless. He felt a growing fear that attacking them might be a mistake, but Drek did not notice. He continued to fire, ordering waves of attacks. Each wave was destroyed or dodged by the humans. The aliens were starting to lose coordination. Ships collided, some were damaged by friendly fire, and the morale of the fleet began to drop. On the human ship, Lucas watched everything closely. They are tired, he said.
Their attacks are losing precision. Nora, I want a small strike to test their defenses.
Nothing too risky, just a warning. Nora nodded, sending a targeted pulse to their lead ship. It should force them to adjust.
A small beam of energy shot from the human ship, striking one of the Zorath ships.
The energy disrupted its systems. The alien ship slowed, its weapons temporarily offline. The other Zorath ships moved to protect it, breaking their formation further.
Commander Varrock growled, "Drek,
See what your impatience has done. They are stronger than we expected. Withdraw and reorganize the fleet." But Drek ignored him. He was too confident in his numbers.
We are stronger! Keep firing!"
The human ship moved with precision. It avoided the new attacks easily, and the decoy drones guided the beams away from the engines. Lucas smiled slightly. He could feel the enemy growing weaker, more frustrated. The humans had learned the first wave, adapted to the second, and now held the advantage through careful planning.
Their shields are holding perfectly, Nora said.
We can survive this. If they continue, we can start thinking about counterattacks. Lucas nodded.
Good.
Prepare the crew. We may need to strike soon. I want them to feel our strength, but we do not waste energy yet.
In the Zorath fleet, panic began to spread.
Officers shouted orders. Ships collided. Some fired too soon and missed completely. The humans were small, but their actions made the aliens look clumsy. Commander Varrock felt bitter regret. We should not have attacked first. Their strength is far beyond what we expected. Drake's arrogance will cost us dearly.
But Drake still argued, "We have numbers. We cannot lose."
Varrock shook his head. We are already losing because we underestimate them. Watch carefully and learn. Retreat is not shameful if it saves the fleet. On the human ship, Lucas observed the chaos in the Zorath fleet. They are making mistakes because they are angry and frustrated. That is our advantage. Nora, keep their attention on the drones. Let them waste energy while we prepare our next move.
Yes, Captain, Nora said.
All systems are ready. We can move when you command. The Zorath ships continued to fire, but the human ship seemed untouchable. Every beam missed, every strike was countered. The aliens were growing desperate. Commander Varrock turned to his council. We must stop this attack. They are learning faster than we can predict. Prepare for a retreat.
But Drek refused. No!
We will not stop. One ship cannot defeat a fleet. Varrock clenched his fists.
Pride is dangerous.
I warned you. Their intelligence is far superior. They are not weak. They are adaptive, resourceful, and brave. And now we are learning that the cost of attacking first is higher than we imagined.
Inside the human ship, Lucas Hill felt a quiet satisfaction.
They are afraid, he said, but they do not know us yet. They do not know how far we can go. Prepare for the next wave. We will finish this carefully and with precision.
Nora Blake nodded.
All systems are ready. They cannot predict our next move. The stars above the battle were silent witnesses. The small human ship, moving with intelligence and courage, had survived the first true battle. The Zorath fleet, proud and numerous, was in chaos. One small vessel had shown them that numbers alone were not enough to guarantee victory. Commander Varrock watched helplessly. We made a mistake attacking first, he said quietly. We should have studied them, learned from them, not rushed. Now we face the consequences.
But Drek would not listen. We will win.
We have too many ships. Varrock shook his head slowly. No, Drek. Victory is not only in numbers. It is in thinking, in patience, and in adaptation. The humans have all three. And that is why they survive. The human ship moved calmly through the chaos, ready for the next stage of the battle. Lucas Hill knew that this war was far from over. But for now, the humans had survived. They had proven that even one small ship could challenge an entire fleet. And in the shadows of space, Commander Varrock realized the truth he had ignored for too long. Humans were clever. Humans were unpredictable. And humans, above all, would not be easily defeated. The human ship moved calmly through the chaos of space. Thousands of Zorth ships fired energy beams, but the humans had adapted. Captain Lucas Hill watched the enemy fleet carefully. He knew that numbers alone could not win a battle. Intelligence, strategy, and timing were far more important. "Nora," Lucas said, "prepare the phased plasma disruptor. We may need to test their shields and systems soon. Keep the drones active and guide their fire away from our engines."
Yes, Captain, Nora replied. Her fingers moved quickly over the controls.
The ship's systems hummed with energy as she prepared the weapon.
All systems are ready.
"I am monitoring their energy output. Their formations are weakening." The Zorath fleet was in chaos. Commander Varrock tried to keep order, but pride and anger had spread through the ships. Many officers ignored commands. They believed their numbers would ensure victory, but now their coordination was failing.
"Focus!" Varrock shouted. "Protect the lead ship! Do not let them strike directly at us!"
Drek, still angry and impatient, ignored the warning.
"We will destroy them!"
he yelled. "Fire everything!" The human ship waited. Every move was calculated. Every maneuver was precise. The drones distracted the enemy, pulling their energy fire away from critical systems. Lucas Hill had studied the Zorth fleet carefully. He knew exactly where their weaknesses were. "Captain, the lead Zorth ship is exposed," Nora said. "If we strike now, we can disable its weapons and slow the fleet." Lucas nodded. "Do it. But carefully. We need precision. One wrong move, and we risked everything."
A pulse of energy shot from the human ship. It struck the lead Zorath ship directly.
The alien vessel shuddered as systems failed. Its engine slowed and its weapons went offline for a few moments. The other Zorath ships moved to protect it, but the human ship had already moved out of range. Commander Varrock watched in shock. "Impossible. How can one ship do this?" he muttered. "They are small, but they are precise. They are not afraid.
And they are learning faster than we can respond."
Draven's face turned red with anger.
"They are only one ship!"
"They cannot continue." But the human ship moved carefully, avoiding every attack. Lucas Hill observed the Zorth movements and anticipated their responses. Every time the aliens tried a new tactic, the humans had already calculated a counter.
"They are frustrated," Lucas said quietly.
"We can use that. Nora, prepare for a second strike. This time, aim for the engines of the closest ships. Slow them down."
"Yes, Captain," Nora replied. She fired a series of targeted pulses.
Several Zorth ships slowed or stopped completely. The fleet's formation broke further, and chaos spread through the ranks.
"Commander Varrock!" Tavar shouted. "Their attacks are precise."
"They are disabling our ships one by one." Varrock's hands clenched. He had underestimated the humans. They were not weak. They were clever, patient, and deadly when they chose the right moment. "We made a mistake," he said softly. "We should never have attacked first. Now we see what happens when we underestimate humans."
On the human ship,
Lucas smiled faintly.
"Keep moving,"
he said. "They are losing focus. Every mistake they make gives us an advantage."
"Prepare for a larger strike if the opportunity comes." Nora's fingers danced over the controls.
"Captain, if we continue at this pace, we can disable half their fleet without risking much. They are disorganized. Their weapons are not synchronized." Lucas nodded. "Good. But stay alert. They may try something unpredictable."
The Zorath fleet tried to regroup, but their attempts were weak.
Drek refused to listen to Commander Varrock's orders. He ordered waves of attacks, but each one was weaker than the last. The humans continued to dodge, counter, and confuse them.
"Focus on the lead ships," Drek shouted. "Destroy them."
"One ship cannot defeat a fleet." Varrock shook his head. "Drek, you are blind to reality. They are not just one ship. They are adaptive, intelligent, and resourceful. And they have a weapon we do not fully understand yet." The human ship continued its maneuvers. Lucas studied the fleet carefully.
"Nora, I want the phased plasma disruptor ready for a full strike. If they continue to attack recklessly, we will disable the fleet in one move."
Yes, Captain, Nora said. The weapon hummed with energy, glowing softly on the ship's hull. Ready when you give the command. The Zorath fleet fired another wave of attacks. Beams cut through space, some hitting decoy drones, others missing entirely. The humans moved like shadows, precise and calm. Every attack was wasted, and the aliens' frustration grew. Commander Varrock realized the fleet was breaking apart. Ships collided. Engines failed. Energy shields dropped. The humans had turned the battle into a game of patience, and the aliens were losing. They are too clever, Varrock said quietly. One ship, and they have caused chaos in our entire fleet. We underestimated them. I warned them, but they did not listen. Inside the human ship, Lucas observed the Zorath fleet carefully. Their formation is broken. Their weapons are scattered. Nora, prepare for the final strike. We need to show them what humans are capable of. Nora nodded. All systems are ready. The disruptor is fully charged. We can disable the majority of the fleet in one pulse. Lucas smiled faintly.
Good. Wait for my command. Timing is everything.
The Zorath fleet tried to mount another attack, but the humans anticipated it. Every move was calculated. Every response precise. The alien ships could not predict the next step. Their confidence was gone, replaced by fear and confusion. Commander Varrock, Tovar shouted. We are losing control. They are attacking with precision. This cannot be happening. Varrock clenched his hands. He had seen many battles, but never like this. The humans were small, but their intelligence and courage were unmatched. We should never have attacked, he muttered. They are clever, patient, and deadly. The human ship moved into position. Lucas gave the command. Now, Nora, fire. The phased plasma disruptor released a wave of energy that spread across the enemy fleet. Ships were disabled instantly. Engines failed. Weapons went offline. Beams of green energy fizzled into space. Useless. The Zorath fleet was in chaos. Commander Varrock could not believe his eyes. Impossible, he whispered. One ship? How can one ship do this? Drek stared in shock. No, it cannot be. The human ship moved calmly, avoiding any remaining attacks. Lucas Hill observed the destruction and gave precise orders. Keep the drones active. Guide their remaining fire away from our engines. We need no mistakes now. Nora nodded. Yes, Captain. All systems are stable. Their fleet is mostly disabled. Only a few ships are left operational. The Zorath ships that remained tried to retreat, but the humans anticipated their path. Another strike disabled their engines. The survivors scattered in panic, leaving behind the ships that had been disabled by the disruptor. Commander Varrock looked around at the remaining fleet. Only a handful of ships were operational. The human ship had done what he thought was impossible. One small vessel had destroyed nearly the entire fleet.
They are humans, he said softly.
We should never have attacked first. We underestimated them. And now we see the cost of that mistake. Drek's anger turned to fear. We cannot lose to one ship, Varrock shook his head. It is not one ship, Drek. It is a species that thinks, adapts, and survives. That is why humans are dangerous. That is why they are not to be underestimated. Inside the human ship, Lucas Hill watched the retreating aliens.
They learned the hard way, he said quietly. Never underestimate humans.
That is the lesson they will remember. Nora Blake smiled faintly. We did it, Captain. The fleet is defeated. They cannot stop us now. Lucas nodded. Yes, but we must remain vigilant. There may be more waiting. For now, we have survived. For now, we have proven that intelligence, courage, and strategy can overcome even overwhelming numbers. The stars above the battle were silent witnesses. One small human ship had changed the course of the fight. Thousands of Zorath ships had been disabled. Pride, numbers, and aggression had failed against patience, intelligence, and courage. Commander Varrock stared at the battlefield, bitter regret in his eyes. We made a mistake, he said softly. We attacked first,
and we paid the price. Humans, they are not weak.
They are strong in ways we did not expect, and now we know their power. The human ship moved calmly through the stars. Lucas Hill and his crew had survived the impossible. They had turned chaos into victory.
The humans had shown the galaxy what they were capable of.
And in the darkness of space, one truth became clear. Humans were not just survivors. They were clever, resourceful, and unstoppable when they acted together. The Zorath fleet would remember this day. They would remember the small white ship that had destroyed their pride, their numbers, and nearly their entire fleet. And the humans would continue, ready for whatever challenge came next. The stars were calm now. The Zorath fleet had been defeated, their ships disabled or in retreat. Only a few damaged vessels moved slowly away from the battle. Space, which had been filled with energy beams and explosions, was quiet again. Captain Lucas Hill stood on the bridge of the human ship. He felt a mix of relief and caution. The battle was over, but the galaxy was still dangerous.
Nora, Lucas said, status report.
Are all systems stable?
Yes, Captain, Nora Blake replied.
Her fingers moved over the controls to confirm the ship's condition.
Shields are intact. Engines are fully operational.
Weapons are ready if needed. We have minimal damage. The crew is unharmed. Lucas nodded.
Good.
Begin scanning for survivors. We may have injured enemies or lost humans in the fight. We cannot leave anyone behind. The ship moved slowly through the debris of battle. Pieces of Zorath ships floated silently, green sparks fading into space. Some smaller alien vessels were damaged but still alive. Lucas ordered the human ship to approach carefully, avoiding any hidden traps. Lieutenant Blake activated the rescue drones.
Captain, we can assist the survivors. Their ships are mostly disabled.
We can pull them aboard safely if they do not resist. Lucas nodded. Do it. Remember, we are not here to destroy anyone who surrenders. We fight to defend, not to kill unnecessarily. They attached cables to the disabled Zorath ships and gently pulled them closer to the human ship. Alien officers inside the ships looked surprised and confused. They had expected death, but humans were acting differently. Commander Varrock, on one of the remaining Zorath ships, watched in disbelief. His fleet was nearly gone, yet the humans were helping the survivors. His pride hurt, but he could not ignore the fact that their enemies had shown both strength and honor. They are helping us, Tovar whispered, his voice full of disbelief. After all we have done, they do not strike us down? Varrock said nothing. He felt the weight of failure. The humans were not just clever. They were disciplined, ethical, and fearless. Their victory had not corrupted them with arrogance or cruelty. On the human ship, Lucas watched the operations carefully.
Keep the distance safe. Make sure none of their damaged systems explode near us.
And be ready. We do not know if they have hidden weapons.
Yes, Captain, Nora replied. The drones continued to pull the smaller ships in.
Humans helped repair minor damage where they could, stabilizing the alien crew. Slowly, the Zorath survivors realized that the humans were not there to harm them further. Commander Varrock looked at Lucas Hill's ship through the viewport. He did not know what to say.
They are honorable, he said quietly. Even after destroying most of our fleet,
they help us. We underestimated them.
I see now that humans are not weak. Lucas Hill noticed the gaze of the alien commander.
Commander Varrock, he said over the communication channel, we did not attack first. You did, but we will not kill those who surrender. Your fleet has made mistakes, but we will give you the chance to retreat safely. That is the way humans fight. Strong, but just. There was silence on the other side. Finally, Varrock spoke. We accept your terms. Retreat will be organized. Thank you. Lucas nodded. Good. Prepare your crew. Make sure they understand we will not attack if you comply. We fight only to defend and protect. The Zorath ships began to retreat slowly. Damaged vessels followed behind the few remaining active ships. The humans did not fire again. They kept their ship ready but moved carefully, letting the aliens leave without further conflict. On the human ship, the crew breathed a collective sigh of relief. They had survived what seemed impossible. Lucas looked at Nora. We did well, but we must remember, we are not invincible. The galaxy will test us again. Today, we only survived. Nora smiled faintly.
Yes, Captain, but we proved something important.
Humans are clever and strong. We think, we adapt, and we protect each other. That is what makes us dangerous to anyone who underestimates us. Lucas nodded. Exactly. That is the lesson the Zorath learned today. But it is also a lesson for us. We must always be ready, always think ahead, and never underestimate any threat. As the human ship moved through space, the crew began to repair minor damage from the battle. Systems hummed with energy, and lights blinked steadily across the bridge. Every member of the crew felt proud.
They had faced overwhelming odds and survived. They had not just survived, they had won.
Outside, the stars reflected in the calm surface of space. Debris floated silently, reminders of the battle, but also of survival. The humans had faced the impossible and emerged victorious. Their courage, intelligence, and teamwork had changed the course of the fight. Commander Varrock looked at his retreating fleet. He felt shame, fear, and respect all at once. He had led them into a fight they should never have started. The humans had turned every mistake into an opportunity. One ship, guided by careful thought and precise action, had defeated thousands. Humans are not just survivors, Varrock said quietly. They are thinkers, planners, and warriors. We should have studied them before we attacked. Now we know the cost of pride and impatience. Drake, still on one of the retreating ships, did not speak. He could not understand. His arrogance had been shattered. The humans were small, yes, but their minds were powerful. Numbers alone could not defeat them. On the human ship, Lucas Hill and Nora Blake prepared to leave the system.
Captain, Nora said, all survivors are aboard. The Zorath are retreating.
We can leave safely, Lucas nodded. Set a course for the nearest human base. We need to report what happened. The galaxy needs to know that humans are capable of more than anyone imagined. As the ship moved through the stars, Lucas reflected on the battle. They had survived because humans were clever, patient, and brave. They had survived because humans fought together, thinking as one. And they had survived because humans never gave up, even when the odds were impossible. The crew moved quietly, tending to the ship and checking systems. Though they were victorious, everyone knew that this was only one battle. The galaxy was large, full of dangers and unknown threats. But for now, they had proven something important. Humans could survive against overwhelming odds. Humans could win against enemies far stronger than themselves.
Nora Blake looked at Lucas. Do you think the Zorath will try again? She asked quietly.
Perhaps, Lucas replied, but they will think twice now. They will remember that humans are not weak, that one ship guided by intelligence and courage can destroy a fleet. That lesson will stay with them. The stars outside were calm and endless. The human ship glided silently, carrying the crew in their hard-won victory. They had faced the impossible, and they had succeeded. They had proven the essence of humanity: courage, intelligence, and resilience. Commander Varrock watched his retreating fleet. Never again will we underestimate humans, he said softly. We attacked first, and we paid dearly. We have learned that humans are clever, strong, and fearless, and we have learned the cost of pride. The human ship left the star system behind, moving toward safety. The battle had ended, but its lessons would echo throughout the galaxy. Humans had survived the impossible, and in doing so had shown the universe their true strength. Lucas Hill stood on the bridge, watching the stars. We will always be ready, he said quietly. The galaxy may be dangerous, but humans will survive. We will adapt, we will fight, and we will endure. That is who we are. Nora Blake smiled. Yes, Captain, and today the galaxy learned that lesson. The human ship moved into the deep black of space. The Zorath fleet was in retreat, The stars shone silently above, witnesses to the courage and intelligence of humanity. The humans had survived, they had triumphed, and they had proven that one small ship could change the fate of thousands. And so, in the quiet of space, a lesson was written in the stars. Humans were clever, brave, and unstoppable when united. They had survived the impossible, and their story would echo through the galaxy for generations. Captain Lucas Hill looked at his crew. "Rest now," he said. "We fought well and we will continue to fight smarter. Today, we survived. Tomorrow, we prepare for whatever comes next. But remember, humans are never weak. We are strong, and we endure." The crew nodded quietly. Their hearts were filled with pride. They had faced overwhelming odds and survived. The galaxy had seen their courage, their intelligence, and their resilience. And as the human ship moved through the endless stars, one truth became clear: never underestimate humans. The Zorath would remember that lesson, and the humans, guided by courage and intelligence, would continue their journey, ready for whatever challenge awaited.